10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello. We have appeared. We're in the house. And I would like to welcome everyone today. This is Knowledge from Beyond. And we have arrived. Yes. So I'm going to do my checks and make sure everything is working properly. And we'll be with you in a moment. Hold on, please. And we're going to have a very good show today. Let's see what's going on. And we always have a good show. I can just find it. Oh, we're here. Excellent. And we're going to have a very good show today. Let me go ahead and turn that down. I'm giving this to her.
Right.
And let me just go ahead and dial us in here too, so we'll be completely dialed in. And while we're waiting, so you can say hi to some people that's joining us.
Who's there tonight? Courtney Reeves. Hi. That's all I see right now.
Okay, well, there should be some other people coming in soon. And remember, I'm here on Tuesdays and on Wednesdays. And we're going to have a great show today. This is our show for the Spirit Room Network. And we're on the Spirit Room Network when? Every Wednesday. Excellent. Every Wednesday. And we are good to go. We just popped in here too. Excellent. Excellent. So we are okay. So now that we fixed all of our technical problems, I am here with you, and we're going to have a great show today. Today we have a very good show. I'm Lynn David Livesey, your full spectrum Gnostic, and who am I with today?
Lisa.
Okay, she's back in the house. It's been some time, but anyway, what are we talking about today?
Tonight we're going to talk about the Pentagon Declassified UFO report.
Excellent. And we have a lot to cover, and we're going to try to answer your questions the best way we can. So I want some questions out there if y'all have some, but if you got questions or not, I'm going to try. This is not really that scary. So I'm not going to scare the hell out of you today, but we are going to make it as interesting as possible. Let's go ahead and get started. So we always go back to the beginning. How far back are we going to go? We're going to go back to the Trump administration. Boy, that's really far back. Yay. Okay, now.
Your favorite subject.
Okay, so Trump, we was passing those stimulus bills. Everybody loves stimulus bills. Okay, and when Trump was trying to pass his second stimulus bill, because we all needed money and we was all having problems and we needed another check. Okay, the Democrats is known for sneaking things in bills. And normally when the Democrats sneak things into bills, the Republicans get all mad and start yelling and hollering, and we're not signing the bill unless you take this out and all this stuff. And then they have to fight, and then sometimes they take it out and they compromise, and then the bill gets signed. Okay. What happened with the second stimulus bill? The Democrats was up to their old game, sticking things in the bill. Okay. And they were sticking things in the bill as they normally did. And I guess the Republicans didn't see this. Maybe they saw it. Maybe they just didn't want to say nothing. But why the Democrats stuck it in there, who knows? But the Democrats stuck in the bill, which had nothing to do with the stimulus, that the government had to reveal all of their UFO secrets within a year time. And I guess with the rush to get the stimulus bill out, the Republicans didn't see it. Nobody made a big fuss about it. The bill, Trump signed the bill, and the bill became law. And I guess a lot of people was like, okay, did you see what was in that bill? Did you see what got signed into law? And that's where we are. And then after the bill got signed, it was just waiting. Are they really going to do this or not? Or are they just going to say, well, it was in the bill, but we're not going to go by that. And then they actually put out a report. Okay. Scary stuff, right? You get what I'm saying? Because we was all trying to survive coronavirus.
Yeah.
Nobody was thinking about alien invasion or UFOs or whatever.
Yeah.
Why the Democrats stuck that in the bill, no one knows. And why did the Republicans didn't complain about it and Trump signed it in the law? So then the report came out and everybody was like, okay. So let's talk about this report, which has now been released, which you can go online and you can actually read it. Okay. Now, since they had to release it, it was a part of the bill that they had to release it. They released it. But they did not put it in a readable format. They just released thousands upon thousands of documents. They're not in any order. They're not sequenced. They're not a table of contents. They're just hordes of documents.
Okay.
Okay. And you have to go through them.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That is not what we was expecting. We was expecting a nice organized book, that had a beginning, that, we was peaceful. The aliens came and they're doing this. You get what I'm saying, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
No, they just released all these documents. No rhythm, no rhyme, no nothing. So people been going through all these papers.
Mm-hmm.
And it took several months to go through all that stuff. And some stuff is still being released to this day. They keep having these dumps, of information. And what have come out of all these papers that have been released, if you're looking for the juicy, they did not say aliens exist. Okay. But this goes back to, let's go back to the beginning again. Now we're way before the Trump administration. Now we're going to go all the way back to our favorite date, 1947 and the Roswell crash. That's when the modern era of UFOs begun. Mm-hmm. When people first started seeing things and hearing about things in the late 40s, early 50s, people started seeing these flying saucers, as they was called back then. And they was running to the Air Force for all these answers. And the Air Force in the 50s was trying to come up with some kind of explanation of what in the hell is going on. Mm-hmm. And people was going crazy, right? And then the Air Force had several studies. And after Grudge and several other ones, they finally said they was going to get to the bottom of this UFO thing. Mm-hmm. And that's when they did the famous Operation Blue Book. Okay, Project Blue Book. Mm-hmm. And Blue Book was the Air Force final word on UFOs. And Project Blue Book. You've heard of Blue Book before, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Came out in the early 60s. Said that there's nothing to these there's nothing to these UFO things. You're blocking our little UFO up there. And
my gosh.
She wants to be blocking a UFO. Okay. We're talking UFO. We gotta be able to see our UFO. Something might come out the bottom. You never know.
I'm trying to read the comments, dude.
Okay. So what happened was, after Project Blue Book, the Air Force said they was finished. And the Project Blue Book that came out in the early 60s said once and for all, there is nothing. It's just mass hallucination. Mm-hmm. It's swamp gas. It's ball lightning. It's just insects. It's bird formations. It's this and that. They found nothing, totally nothing. Okay. And the Air Force said they was finished. Mm-hmm. Don't be bugging us about that BS ever again. We are done.
Okay. Someone's asking a question.
Yes.
Do the reports mention the real MIB? Is that what it is?
Men in Black? No, it did not. Okay. This new report, people was expecting, since it was signed in the law, that we was going to get the goodies. Okay. We love the goodies. But we're still continuing on our story. So we got Blue Book said the Air Force was done. And that was it. The Air Force didn't want to hear anything about it after the early 60s. Okay. The next thing we heard about was in around the year 2000. We started hearing that there was rumors that they was investigating it again. And we tried to get some word, was that true or not, and we never could get any really word. And Boehner was the Republican that was over the Senate, over the House, I believe. John Boehner, and he was in Washington. And we found out later that he was over and was funding something off the budget that was investigating UFOs, and people tried to get to the bottom of that. And we never did really get an answer. Okay. And we asked Boehner what was going on, and there was some things on CNN and whatever about some project they had, but they looked into it and they didn't really find anything. And again. Okay, so maybe that's why I don't know how this thing got stuck in the budget, but they finally released papers. So let's talk about the papers that was actually released and what did we learn from from the new report that was put out, that they was forced by this law that they had to release what they know. Okay. Are we ready?
Put your seatbelts on.
Put your seatbelts on. What the Pentagon said, if you read through all those thousands of dumps and papers and everything else, they said, now in this report, they only interviewed Air Force pilots, people in the military. They didn't talk to civilian people. They confirmed that there are things in the air which are not, is not U.S., is not Russian. And a lot of these things defy what we know as science. Some of these things defy what we know as the laws of physics, but they don't know what these things are. Case closed. Okay. So they have admitted for the first time there are things in the air that they do not believe is man-made. They do not believe that they're saying this is not something of somebody's imagination. It does pick up on radar. They have sent fighter jets to chase these things. These things can move in ways that we cannot explain. But that's it.
They won't say the word UFO.
They won't say nothing else. Okay, so they did not say that they are alien craft. They didn't say that.
Trying to keep it hush hush.
They didn't say, okay, but
they're trying to be vague.
Right, like they didn't say what these things are. Okay. They just said that there's things in the air that they really don't know what they are. Okay.
Unidentified.
They didn't use that word either. They just said that there are aerial phenomena. Okay. That pilots have seen, and they had tested their radars, and they picked up on radar, and they have tracked these objects, and these objects can move faster than any man-made object, and this and that, blah, 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 blah. But that's it. They didn't come to any conclusion. They didn't try to make any rational explanation out of these items. They just stated that over and over again. We don't know what these things are, period. And that's it. So it took them from the early 60s to 2021 just to move that much. You understand? Will we have to wait another 30, 40, 50 years for them? Okay. And if that's what is called disclosure, boy, what a big disappointment. You understand what I'm talking about? Because they have not disclosed anything. But at least we know they have admitted for the first time that there are things in the air
Mm-hmm.
flying around, which they don't know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's not mass hallucination. It's not swamp gas. It's not ball lightning. Is they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
they are not going beyond that. So now that we know that, are you willing to quit your job? Are you willing to just climb to the top of your house and just see? Remember, we cannot handle the truth. Now that we know, and the government has admitted that there's things in the air and they don't know what these things are you willing to drink the Kool-Aid tonight? You get what I'm talking about? Okay. See, this is the point. This is nothing. I guess they thought that this was going to be so shocking of information.
Mm-hmm. That it would just
Is anyone shocked?
cause panic.
Is
Someone says,
anyone fainting over there off of what they have
someone
disclosed?
says, I still stand by what I have been saying. Here in the very near future, the truth will be known.
The truth is going to be known because our alien friends are tired. They were supposed to do disclosure a long time ago. And if that's the American definition of disclosure, it sucks big time. You understand what I'm talking about? It's super sucky. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because they didn't tell us anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it took them 50 years just to tell us that there's things in the air and they don't know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
We've been knowing that already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, they didn't get into alien life. They didn't get into this. They didn't talk about these things landing. They didn't talk about their propulsion system. They just talk about that these things move in ways that they do not understand, that these things would defy the laws of aerodynamics.
Mm-hmm.
These things do not sometimes would defy the laws of physics as we know it, and this and that. And then they just stop right there and say, well, that's it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I guess 50 years from now, they'll be ready for part 2. But at this rate, we're never going to get anywhere. We're never going to get anywhere. Okay. This was a total disappointment. Mm-hmm. Okay. And to get to that explanation, we had to go through thousands and thousands and thousands of papers. And they had to interview all these military pilots, this and that, and all this other stuff just to get to that. We knew this back in 1947, 51. We knew this a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Is anybody shocked? Do anyone need a beer off of what I have told them so far? Is anyone falling out of their chair? Okay. Maybe they think we're that dumb and that ignorant and that stupid, but I don't think so. We need more than this. Okay.
I have a family member who said a long time ago, told another family member that they had seen a UFO.
Okay.
They were flying, going on a trip in an airplane, and she swears she saw a UFO.
Okay. Excellent.
And that was probably in the 70s.
Now, with me, see, in the UFO community, we're beyond seeing a light in the sky, seeing something. Okay, we're now into aliens. We're now into how the craft operate, this and that. The government is not even willing to admit that these are real craft or not.
She's having
Okay. Okay. But we need to let these people know this is just the icing on top of the cake. We haven't even got to the cake yet. Okay. You get what I'm saying? And they said, according to them, they have released and will continue to release everything they have. They haven't released nothing. You get what I'm saying? If this is all they have, this is a waste of time. Because maybe they don't think we're ready. Why do you think they're so reluctant.
Will we ever be ready? Will anybody ever be ready?
According to them, the answer is no.
Okay.
And that mind shocking.
So then they might as well just, come out now.
But at least they
Right?
changed the definition of Project Blue Book. Project Blue Book said there was nothing in the air. It was mass hallucination. Now they're telling us that there is things in the air. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So 50 years from now, they might be saying these things in the air might be from another planet or this or that, or there might be occupants in these things in the air. That might take them another 50 years to get to that point. Okay.
Somebody's saying the government thinks we the people are dumb and stupid, but there are many of us that are smarter than they know. This is no big surprise.
Of course, because we know way beyond that there's things in the air. Okay. See, the Egyptians knew there was things in the air. Alexander the Great talked about there was these flying shields and this and that. There are pictorial drawings from all over the world showing things in the air. There are paintings from the Renaissance that's showing round craft in the air. This is nothing new. We've known that there's things in the air for thousands of years. Now they have finally admitted it. Okay. So now that we had our little appetizer, I'm ready for the full course, right?
And then dessert.
Well, dessert would be where they introduce one of the occupants, right? First, now that they admit that there is something in the air, the next step they have to talk about what it is in the air. Okay. They didn't talk about, are these mechanical craft? Do they believe these are drones? Where do they believe they're coming from? See, they didn't get into any of that, right? You see what I'm saying? Are these coming from another planet? Are they coming from another dimension? Are they coming from inside the earth? I raised my hand on that one. Okay, you get what I'm saying.
Somebody's asking a question.
Yes.
Do you think they might fake alien invasion to scare us on purpose?
Okay, we had a talk on the real fake alien invasion. We would talk about it a little bit now. Now, if you believe that the military is going to fake like they have craft from the future and they're going to fake that, okay, that would be the same thing as saying, back in World War I, they was going to fake that they had fighter jets. Okay, you can't fake what you do not have. Okay, now, what we do have is aliens living among us, and they've been living among us for thousands of years. Okay. They just been living here in hiding. So the real fake alien invasion, as I always use the analogy, which I'm going to take this side point for those who don't understand, I'm going to talk about my analogy that I always use. Okay. Your little sweet daughter announced that she's going to invite her boyfriend over for dinner. And you say, oh, that's nice. And he comes to dinner and he said, oh, okay, I'm going to go and use the restroom. Oh, it's down. I know where it is. I know where it is. Okay. And you're like, you never been here before? No, I never been here before. And he's walking around your house like he's at home. You're like, maybe our little sweet daughter been doing some things we're not aware of, because he's walking around here like he's always been here. Maybe he's been in this house several times before. We just wasn't aware he was here. And we asked daughter, are you sure he never been here before? Oh, no, of course not. I would never bring a guy in the house.
I think us as parents could say lots of us have seen that movie.
Okay. This is what our alien friends are doing. When they come here and tell us, we have just arrived from Alpha Centauri, from Andromeda. We traveled 10,000 light years to get here, this and that. We just discovered your planet last weekend. You can believe that lie. But they're going to know more about this planet. They're going to say, how did y'all learn about everything? Ah, we Googled it on the way in. Okay. No, they've been here for thousands of years. But just like your sweet little daughter, until she did the official introduction, he was not allowed in the house. Now that he's been officially introduced, now you come home for work and he's sitting on the couch watching TV. You get what I'm talking about?
We hope he's sitting on the couch watching TV.
Maybe
we
so.
hope. Yeah.
Okay, but she couldn't have him sitting on the couch
Lord.
before because he never officially been there.
Okay.
That is the reason it's the real fake alien invasion. The aliens have to officially introduce themselves and say, we have just arrived. What they're going to do with their giant ships, they're going to pull them out of the ocean and out of the hollow earth, and they're going to go and circle around the sun and come back in very slowly. You get what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So they can say, we just got here.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to find out very quickly that they know all of our languages. They know all of our customs. They know where all of our military bases are. They know where all the capitals are. They know where. Okay. How do y'all learn about all this stuff? Oh, we Googled it. Okay. No. They already know everything because they've been here. Just like that guy in your house. He's been there a dozen times before. You just didn't know about it. So the real fake alien invasion is going to be a real invasion, but it's fake because they was already here. And there's also, to really upset you, there's a lot of aliens living among us right now. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Not everyone on this planet is human. Okay. So, when will they come out of hiding? You get what I'm saying? So, we have the big surprise, the very big surprise. And this is what we're looking forward to in the future. Now, what our little alien friends been trying to get the government to do? And why do I say the aliens trying to get our government to do? Because they've been working with the governments. Okay. Now, we don't know how far back they've been working, but we know they was working with the government ever since World War II. In German documents, they talked about how they was openly working with people. According to German documents, they was working with two groups of people. They was working with people from the star Aldebaran, which is 57 light years away from the Earth, and the constellation Taurus. And they was working with a group of Aryan aliens that lived inside the Earth. And they was assisting the Germans with their technology. Okay. Now, according to us, our technology dramatically increased, and we have found out that a lot of the stuff we got, we was getting assistance ever since World War II. Now, this might have been going back for hundreds. We don't know. We only know that the government and the aliens been working since World War II. Now, were they working with them before World War II? We don't know that. Okay. But we know since World War II, they've been working together. And the tool that they've been working with is the thing of an exchange for toys. You know, we have this 800-year-old spaceship with a damaged propulsion system. We'll let you study it and play with it. If you let us abduct people, do human experimentation, do this, do that, okay.
Anal probing.
How can you say no to a deal like that? It's 800 years old, an intergalactic ship with a damaged propulsion system. How can you say no, you're not interested? Okay. You see what I'm saying? But to them, it's a piece of junk. To us, it's everything we could ever imagine in 1,000 years, right? And they laugh all the way to the bank. And then what we learned by signing these agreements, according to these agreements, and a lot of people talk about this stuff. I can mention names and books and this and that and informants, everything. That America was the only country that they was working with on this planet. And we was assured of that. And then we found out that the Russians had signed almost an exact same agreement we did. And the Chinese signed one we did. And the English signed. See, it's a game. And we found out that those people speak with forked tongue. This is what the X-Files was all about. See, so much they show on TV is in code. Because we don't know everything they tell us. And even if they give us weapons or give us technology, are they helping us or are they hurting us? Because they told us that they wanted to abduct people so they could do,
experiments on.
Right. Well, that's not what they told us. They said just like we go in the woods and shoot a deer and we just want to test on the health to make sure that people are healthy and this and that and check that, right?
I just want to tag them.
Yeah, the see how the environment is doing. They didn't say that they was going to be doing bisecting of people and making hybrids and this and that and everything else and
planning alien babies.
And when you messing around with when you're messing with eggs, sometimes you break a few. You get what I'm saying? See, normally they abduct people, do their little experiments, and bring them back. But sometimes you do the experiments, and
whoops,
they don't. you broke that one. You get what I'm saying? We shouldn't be laughing. It's pretty sad, but this is what happens all over the world. And in a country like America, tens of thousands of people come up missing every year. And we got all this surveillance equipment, this and that, cameras. Can you imagine in Africa and South America how many people end up missing every single year? We never agreed to that. We agreed that they could have that one base. And then we find out here there's 20 other bases we didn't even know about. Okay. See, as above, as below, as we did with the American Indians, we, everything we did, we did the opposite. This is what we're doing. They're doing with us. And they keep saying that they're here to help us. And that's why they're here. But their actions seem like maybe they don't give a about us. Maybe they just care about themselves. Okay, we don't know if we're coming or going. But what can we do about it? You get what I'm saying? Okay. And even the time where we try to say, no, you can't do that, and no, we're not going to allow you to do that, we find out that they go and do it anyway. And what are we going to do about it? It's not like we can really stop them.
Yeah. True.
You see what I'm saying? So they're telling us, the government, that they're going to come here to save our ass. And somebody just said that we're like cows. Well, I'm not going to go into that subject. There's things I cannot talk about. But the earth is nothing but a big cattle ranch. Okay, that's the only thing I can say. Okay.
So you saw that coming.
Yeah. So we're not going over that today. Okay. But there's a lot of things that are going on this planet.
Is that another show?
No, we're not having that show for quite some time. We're not going there. Okay. But anyway, there's a lot of things that are going on that most people don't know about, and you don't need to know about. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Because if you knew half the stuff that was going on, you wouldn't feel safe going to the beach this weekend and kicking back and having a beer. You would be too busy. Your head would be. The weekend's coming. Just relax. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Okay. But we need to, but our time is running out. Okay. So what they want to do is they want to reveal themselves.
Okay.
And the reason they're insisting on revealing themselves is two reasons. This is why they're pushing the governments into disclosure. The best analogy of that is our military. We can have weapon systems and things that are super advanced, but as long as they're top secret, we can't use them, right? And you can talk to some soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they saw some really strange stuff on the battlefield. Experimental weapons and experimental aircraft and this. But we can't use it out in the open because it's classified as top secret. So this is why we have to eventually declassify things so we can fly them around in the daylight. Okay. Our alien friends with our technology is getting to the point where they're getting harder. It's getting harder and harder for them to hide where their cities are located, where their bases are located. We have shot down some of their large craft that really pisses them off and this and that. And they have to make the decision either to come out completely or reduce us back to the days of cavemen, and then they don't have to worry about us anymore. You understand? Okay. They are deciding to let us cross under the thing of we're going to live together. Okay. But what is that going to be like? We have no idea. We have no idea. And what the government was supposed to do during this closure was supposed to slowly tell us what is going on. So when that fateful day comes, we would be prepared.
And not so shocked. And
well, we are prepared now. Now we know that there's things in the air which they admit are not there. So now we're prepared for everything. No, we're not prepared for nothing. Right? And what they're worried about is when the day that they do come, there will be mass panic and mass hysteria. And that is guaranteed because we know nothing. Right? And when they bring their big ships and when you know, I was watching.
And they come land in the parking lot.
It's even more than that.
On your house.
I was watching some things and looking up some things.
Okay.
What's been going on at our big observatories? You know, we got observatories now all over the world. Some of these observatories can pick up all kind of stuff.
Okay.
Do you know there's been several times that observatories have gotten raided? And computer systems been taking this and that. Because when you're an observatory and you see things that you're not supposed to see, you get what I'm talking about? Okay. You're supposed to be looking at that star over there. You're not supposed to be seeing that thing taking off, you know, that's coming around the moon or coming out from behind the sun or you know what I'm talking about. We need to confiscate those tapes you just got.
Wait a minute. What's that?
Yes. Okay.
What?
And,
oh, wait. Where's it? What's that?
Okay. And this is why now what they have done before, under the days of NASA, everything was public where NASA needed to release it. Everything that is done now, this is why they want SpaceX to do it, or they want other corporations to do it, or they want a university to do it, because we don't have the right to nothing. We can't tell SpaceX, hey, we want to look at SpaceX saying, hey, that's private information. We ain't giving you jack, right? They don't have a public charter. They're not the government. This is why the government want companies to do everything, because companies don't have disclosure agreements. You can't sue a company and say, we want to see all of your records.
Okay.
Companies just tell you to go to where to go, right? See, they're hiding things. But how is this helping us to move forward, right?
No, because it's not preparing us.
It's not preparing us. And that day is getting closer and closer and closer. And we're all going to be freaking out. Okay. Any comments?
I mean, not lately. They're just...
Is anyone saying it's better that we don't know? That it's better that we're left in the dark?
We are on a need-to-know basis. And even then, someone said.
Okay. Do anyone think that see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, and that's the way we should be? Okay. When are they going to tell us about their secret program, their secret space program, and about their secret this and this and that? When are they going to tell us? Okay.
Someone says again, spoon-fed info into the masses that want us to believe what they want us to believe. Decades of conditioning. People really need to wake up, pick up a book, and research.
Okay. And anyone that's working at any of these giant bases or observatories or this or that or in the military, they're getting everybody to sign these agreements to where you can't reveal nothing. And people say, oh, I'll sign it, but I'm going to talk anyway. No, because with those agreements, if you talk, you can be put in prison. If you talk, your pension, everything, you lose everything. You know what I'm talking about? And you know, to Americans, money is supreme. And if you tell people, if you talk, you know, you get that pension check every month. You kiss that thing goodbye. Okay.
Someone says yes, and when they come, a lot of people will be scared. Can't believe what is going on and can't even process what's happening. People will see them as a threat and try to destroy them.
Okay, that is what they're afraid of.
She said big mistake.
And the problem is, that is to people like me and you. To these religious people, they only know two words: angel, demon. Even they're going to believe these are angels coming or these are demons coming. And a lot of these things, they're not angels and they're not demons. They're just from another reality. You get what I'm talking about? And you can't play the game of black hats and white hats because they're not playing that game. Most things is a mixture of black and white. It is not pure gray. Black, pure white, right?
Or gray, you know.
Yeah. We want to play the game of the good cowboy wears the white and the bad cowboy plays black. This is not going to work out. And these religious people are going to be saying, these are angels coming from heaven. We need to worship them. Other religious people are going to say, these are demons from hell. We need to destroy them.
They'll say they're false prophets.
Or fallen angels or this. Okay. Between those two groups, it's going to be worse than that. It's going to be. Because we're not prepared. Okay. Most people, a lot of people believe that there is life beyond our island, our little blue marble. But most of us are not prepared. And we could be prepared if they start giving us the information we need. And what we need to do, because as I said, we're running out of time. Okay. And our planetary isolation is coming to an end. And it's going to be too late, like we see in the movies, when you walk outside and this thing is hanging in the sky. Right? And CNN is saying, here's this thing hanging over London, England, and no one knows what it is. And the Air Force saying, don't worry about it. Okay, we got everything under control.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
So what would you do? Because you're expecting them. So what would you do? What would you do?
What
would
I do?
You tell us that you wouldn't freak out?
I probably wouldn't buy a new car on that day they arrive. That's probably what I would.
Okay. Really?
I probably wouldn't go.
What would you do? If you walked out of your door, went outside, and there was a UFO.
Okay. What I would to do is try to the same thing I would do if something like that appeared. It's the same thing I would do if you walked outside your door and there's a forest fire going on. If you walk outside your door and there's a hurricane approaching. As you walk outside your door and there's a coronavirus that's staring you in the face. You just need to figure out what is going on. You don't freak out. Freaking out don't get you nowhere. Man has survived everything for thousands of years. We have survived earthquake, everything, volcanoes, tsunamis. We have survived, meteors and comets. There's nothing we haven't went through. We just need to figure out what it is, and we need to move forward. The problem is every time something happens, like with coronavirus, people say that's a sign from God that the end is. Okay, no, it's not. It's just a bug. Okay.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? And all these stuffs are signs that things. Okay.
It is.
And it is pestilence. But if you read history, this is why they don't want to teach history. We lost a lot of people to with coronavirus, but you should read about some of the past things that have happened, not only in Europe with the Black Plague, but plagues they have had in China or plagues they have had. Think about what happened to the American Indians with smallpox. Some of these Indian villages, 80-90% of all the people died. Could you imagine that if that happened today? And why all the Indians was dying? You know what they called that period in Europe? The Renaissance. Okay. So one person's hell is not everyone's hell. So if there's any problem, and just like last year when California was going up in flames, and just like when they had the giant tsunami in Asia that killed 200,000 people, in America, we watched it on TV. Mm-hmm. It was kind of exciting.
I believe that there's going to be a big earthquake in California.
Okay. Well, okay. She said it.
That's
I'm
why
kind
I
of
don't
quiet.
live there.
But
okay.
Someone
says running out of time. What time frame are we talking about, Mr.
This is what we don't know. The only thing that we have been.
We don't know when Jesus is coming.
Okay. The only thing we know is that time is short. This is why everyone's in a rush. Now, what's the definition of time is short? Some people is waiting for Christ to return. Some people are waiting for polar shift. Some people are waiting for a lot of things. Now, remember, the past is the future. The future is the past. When you go back into history, this have happened before. When Jesus came 2,000 years ago, this is why the wise men in Babylon was searching the stars for the Messiah to come. They wasn't Christian, they wasn't Jewish, but they knew something was getting ready to happen. Okay. This is why the Romans was looking for Maitreya to return. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Now, they all had different ways of trying to figure out what happened. And hindsight is 2020. So we know something is coming in our future. We can feel it in our bones. There's a lot of people that have been predicting all kind of events. There's a lot of things. Now, once it happens, hindsight is 2020. We'll say, now we understand why this happened and why this happened. Now we understand. But looking in this direction is very hard to read the signs. Okay? You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
But we must do our part. This is why we know there's some stuff coming our way. We know that the time is short. And instead of freaking out, instead of having gun tubes buried in your backyard and hundreds of rounds of ammunition and all this,
And hoarding the toilet paper.
and hoarding the toilet paper and
Yeah.
whatever,
Please don't
because
do that.
we don't know what we need to do. And the problem with survival theory, I'm a survivalist, is that if you are not prepared, you may not be able to survive what happened. But if you got too much supplies, then you're stuck in your physical location and you can't move if you need to move. This is why when a hurricane is coming, you need to be prepared, but not too prepared. Because if you got your house full of food and everything else and you need to evacuate, you're going to say, I can't go nowhere. I got all this food and all this other. I'm going to stay here. Right? So we need to be on our toes and we need to be ready. And the main thing we need to be ready cannot be purchased at Walmart or Dollar Tree or what these other places. The main thing we need to be ready is two things. We need this, which is called a brain, and we need something called information. Okay. And this is what we're hoping our government will help us to provide. And what have happened so many times before in the past, we're not talking hundreds of years ago, where they have spotted something in space, or the sun is acting funny, or they are thinking that there's going to be an eruption. Normally, they only tell us days or hours. Sometimes we don't find out until after the event happened that the government was talking about that weeks and months before, and they was making contingency plans. That is not the way you're supposed to do things. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if the government thinks that Yellowstone is going to explode, to tell us a year after that, oh, we knew that and we made plans, but we didn't want to tell anybody because we didn't want to cause panic. How is that helping us out? Mm-hmm. Right? And if they think Yellowstone is going to explode tomorrow, they might say, maybe y'all who live over there, maybe y'all need to start having contingency plans in case something happens. Right? But the government knows a lot of things, but they don't want to say nothing. Mm-hmm. But they tell the corporations, they tell, right? The government is always prepared. The military is ready. How come we're not ready?
Someone says, I'm going to go out on a limb here and we'll say estimate with it within the next 5 years. Someone is saying
I'm not going to say there's going to be, there's a big event which is going to happen, which is going to, this is why I've been telling you for a while. People that look into the future is been blank because the future as we know it doesn't exist. Now we know one of the things that changed the future was coronavirus. It changed the path we was on. Because of coronavirus, the entire world turned slightly.
It changed my path. It changed my path.
Okay. You get what I'm saying? And this is just one of many events that are slowly making us turn. So when you look straight into the future, it's not there. And this has been the problem that people been having for the last 10 years or so. When you try to look into the future, we can't see the future. It's not that 2030 and 2045 doesn't exist, but the world has changed and went in a different direction. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a lot of these events over the next 5, 10, 20 years, which is pulling all of humanity in a different direction. Some people can say in a positive direction, a negative direction. We don't get a vote. You just need to survive the roller coaster ride, right?
Someone saying some paranormal experts say that the world has slipped into a different dimension when we were all in lockdown.
Okay, I'm not going to go into that. Okay, only thing I'm saying is either you survive or you don't survive. And we have a lot of very big changes that's going to be happening in the world over the next few years. Coronavirus is one, and we have a lot of these things. Okay, we already see that the economic situation is starting to lean. Okay, some people are still, buying stocks and bonds like there's no tomorrow, but the signs are already there. We got shortages of food, shortages of this. There's no cars. There's this and that. There's supply problems all over the world. They're having crop problems. They're having this and that. And this, all we need is some event to throw things off, and our whole economic system could collapse overnight. Because it's all right now, it's hanging by a thread.
Yeah, I mean, look how fast Corona changed us.
Yes.
Just super fast.
Okay, and everything in the world, it would be, the world was simpler when we made things here in America and we used it in America. We as Americans are dependent upon getting merchandise from all over the world. And if those container ships stop for any reason, we're dead. I don't know if people know that or not. Okay. And this is the problem that they're having now, is because the container ships are coming in. They're supposed to come in and go back out. The container ships are coming in, but there's nothing to go back out.
Someone says government is doing this to the world.
Okay. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's a worldwide problem. And we need to have a meeting on this, which we might soon. But we have discussed this several years ago. You're not aware that most cities only have a 3 to 5 day supply of food and gasoline in most cities. And if the trucks are stopped from coming to your city within 3 to 5 days, you don't have any food, you don't have any gasoline, you don't have nothing.
At least down here, remember?
Yeah.
Where like a couple of days everybody was panicking, and then we would see signs that said, they were out of gas.
Okay. Or what happened to that pipeline on the East Coast?
Yeah.
It was only shut down for 2 days and the price of gas went crazy. Now, if we can't even survive something like that, this is how all of society is hanging by a thread. It doesn't take alien invasion to throw the world into chaos. It could take any little thing, right? Anything could throw the world into chaos because everything is so delicate. And why is there only a 3 to 5 day supply to all the cities in the United States? And the trucks have to keep rolling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if not. That is very scary. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So we have a lot of problems we're going to be facing over the next few years. And you don't need to start biting your nails and taking anxiety medication and this and that and whatever. What you need to do is listen and have this. And if something's going on, you need to figure out what you and your family needs to do to survive. And if you walk outside and you see that big thing floating over downtown, you need to figure out what in the hell do me and my family need to do to survive this, right? Okay. But we're on the roller coaster. We are going to make it. And I'm going to do my best. I'm here every Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'm cheating. I'm a full spectrum Gnostic. I get a lot of my information not from CNN. I have never disclosed where I get my information from. I'm still not disclosing, but I do have contact and I do have information, and I will do my best to keep you informed on what's going on. And with that, I look forward to seeing everybody next week on Tuesday and Wednesday to keep you informed on what is going on. But the government is not going to do disclosure. I'm very disappointed on this little BS that they gave us. Okay. And if they don't hurry up, our alien friends are going to do disclosure. And their way of doing disclosure is being on CNN. They're going to say, we have this green guy. Okay. Right? With long arms and a thin body. And we're interviewing him live on CNN at 10 tonight. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Boy, will that be disclosure. Okay. Boy, you might need a beer now.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're out of time and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
This is Lynn and Lisa. I hope to see everybody very soon. And I want you to have a wonderful weekend. Okay.
See y'all next week.
With that, as we normally do, we are going to go back into hiding and we need to prepare for what's coming. So with that, I look forward to seeing everyone very soon. And we're going back into, well, I can get this thing to work right. We're sliding back
Maybe.
we're sliding back into
Oh my goodness. We're going away.
Is that what we're doing?
Disappear.
We're out of here. Thank you so much.
Bye guys.
Bye.